challenger, weighing 218 pounds, with a record of 23-1-1, from Council Bluffs, Iowa, Ron Stander. And in this corner, the world heavyweight champion, weighing in 217.5 pounds, unbeaten in 28 fights, 25 by knockouts, world champion Joe Frazier.
Gentlemen, we have reached the pinnacle of the evening. Protect yourself at all times, men. You're on your own. Who's your chief second Stander? Who's your chief second Frazier? You men will be held responsible for your actions in the corner. Shake hands now. Good luck to both of you. Come out fighting at the bell.
Big Ron from Council Bluffs. Stander on your left. The kingpin, Joe Frazier, on your right. Frazier, winner of 24 KOs in 28 fights. And here we go. First punch, a couple of light lefts by Stander. Right hook thrown by Stander. George, do you think that Joe is going to feel him out, or do you think he's going right after him?
Well, Joe usually doesn't feel anybody out too much. He tries to go to work right away.
Landed a stiff left to the nose, but Stander doing what he said. He said, I'll come out winging just as Joe comes out smoking. We're in the first 30 seconds of round number one. Stander from Council Bluffs now getting hit with that left. And, of course, Frazier's most devastating weapon, George, is the left hook.
That's right. That's his best punch. He throws it the most often, and he throws it with a lot of speed and a lot of weight.
Stander has never been stopped. He lands on Frazier, and, of course, the Go Big Ron fans are all over the place here tonight. And you see Stander staying on top of Frazier, George, all the way.
That's right. He's trying to smother Joe's hook, trying to stay in as close as possible with his own punches, and trying to come up with punches here, too, I noticed.
Although a 10-1 favorite, don't forget, Lewis and Schmeling the first time, Johansson and Patterson, Liston and Clay. It's happened. Frazier has been down twice in his career, both times first fight against Bonavena. Meanwhile, Stander has been down just once and claimed it was a slip. He's lost one and had one draw. Stander hits Frazier and his knees buckle. And Stander is carrying the fight to Frazier. Stander is certainly not afraid of him, George.
That's right. He's staying on top of him throwing a lot of punches.
Frazier's been hit harder already than I've seen him in several fights. Stander has him against the rope. And it is Frazier who is fighting Stander off. Stander landing the punches, but Frazier hasn't really hit him yet. There's that left of Joe's. And of course, if he throws that left hook, it's devastating. But it's Stander carrying the fight in the first minute and a half. Now Frazier getting through to him with a left. 1 minute left in round number one. Stander of Council Bluffs, Iowa, the unknown, against the champion Joe Frazier. All the pre-fight talk was how many rounds this fight could go. But there have been shocking upsets in boxing history before, George.
That's right. We've had lots of them. There'll be lots more in the future. We could have one tonight.
Stander, literally unknown outside of the states of Iowa and Nebraska, getting the dream opportunity of his life. He said to us before the fight, if it were in an alley, I'd be the favorite. There's Frazier's vicious left. 30 seconds left, round one, the heavyweight championship of the world. Stander a surprise in the early going. Frazier wrestles him into the ropes. Stander keeps coming. Actually, each man fighting the style the other man likes. Frazier on the right, Stander on the left. And I don't believe, George, that Frazier was hurt as much as it sounded like with a crowd behind us.
Well, I think he was a little off balance, but the other man might have hurt him a little bit, but Stander isn't really getting enough leverage into his punches, whereas Frazier is getting a little more leverage, bending down a little more, and getting his punches off a little better with a little more momentum.
Don't forget, for Ron Stander of Council Bluffs, Iowa, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. So far, he has not flinched. He's carried the fight into Joe Frazier, but now he's getting hit with a series of those chopping lefts. There's a right uppercut, and it's Frazier packing the dynamite now. And I think George Stander realizes he's never been in the ring with a man who hits like this.
That's right, and so steadily.
Frazier, hailed by Dempsey and many of the others, one of the most devastating punchers of all heavyweight champions. And Ron Stander of Council Bluffs, Iowa, is beginning to recede for some of that power. However, he has not backed up a step thus far.
That's right. Actually, if he backs up, he's in bigger trouble, really. I think he has to stay right on top of him.
Of course, this is the kind of a fight Joe Frazier likes. Head-to-head, eyeball to eyeball. And that's the kind of a fight he's got with this 27-year-old kid from Council Bluffs, right across the river here from Omaha. A wild right missing by Stander. Frazier, they call him Smokin Joe, and I think the greatest asset he has is his relentless driving forward, George.
That's right. He's got a lot of determination.
Stander gets hit with that left a couple of times in close at long range, showing the first signs of taking a beating in close from Frazier. And you'll notice Joe doesn't stop swinging. Stander slowed to a walk for the moment. Frazier continues to pound away. Zach Clayton is the third man in the ring. One of the great referees. He refereed Walcott Charles. So he's been in there with the champions before. Wild uppercut. He swung that from Council Bluffs, Iowa, and missed it. 1 minute left, round two. Neither fighter has been down. A right hook to the body by Stander, but you see that Frazier keeps right on coming. This isn't a fight. This is a close-in war. Stander keeps landing, but you see that Frazier comes right on through his punches.
That's right, and Frazier's doing a couple of smart things. He's shifting his attack from the head to the body, mixing his attack up very well, whereas Stander's primarily punching to the head.
25 seconds left in the wrestling match in the corner for the moment. Zach Clayton brings them apart. 20 seconds left. We're in round two. Neither man down thus far. Stander missing with the right hand. Landing to the body with the left. 10 seconds left in the second round. First heavyweight championship fight in the state's 105-year history. The Cornhuskers were number one. They hope Stander will be number one. He goes right after Frazier, but he's missing punches. Joe setting him up in close with lefts and rights, a wicked left, and that's the first time Stander has literally been hurt. George, he's slowed to a walk with that left.
That really stumped him. He's in big trouble right now. He's bleeding very badly.
He's in deep trouble as Frazier works on the body. Stander desperately trying to catch Joe, and now the nose has been cut, and there's a severe cut on the bridge of the nose of Stander. And the claret begins to flow. Many of the experts wrong already. We're in round three. A lot of them didn't think it would go past number one. But the champion of the world, unbeaten, 24 knockouts. Frazier coming on. Left to the ear, left to the nose, and there's blood spattered all over Stander's face now. Frazier can't miss with that short left in close and the jolting right hand. And George, he has a good right, too. You hear about the left, but he's got a straight right that packs power.
That's right, he has. What Frazier's doing is also setting his man up very nicely with the jab. He's using the jab a lot more tonight than I've ever seen him use it before.
Stander literally fighting to stay on his feet now as Frazier hit him with a left and a right. The blood pouring from his nose and his eye, and the champion of the world has him set up now. Stander, you've got to give him credit for his courage, his stick-to-itiveness, and he's hanging in there. There he is throwing a wild right hand, but it's Frazier landing the dynamite now. That left uppercut straightens Stander's face up again. He has won 23 of 25 fights, but never has he been in there with anybody who can hit like Frazier and who keeps hitting you. And there's Stander fighting back. 1 minute to go, round three. Frazier with a vicious uppercut right over our TVS microphone. On this great night of sports, 4 hours of prime time, bringing you Super Night on television. And Frazier now has Stander in bad shape. And yet Stander lashes back with the right hand. Every time, George, it looks like Stander has about had it. He lashes back with that right again.
That's right. He's a tough boy. He's very determined. He knows what he has at stake here tonight, and he's not going to quit. He's going to keep fighting.
He is guts personified, and he's showing it in there tonight. 25 seconds left, round three. And it's Stander with a left to the head, a right to the body, and a right to the chin. But it's Frazier's left and right doing the damage. Frazier is in there with a wild man. They call him the Bluffs Butcher. And you can see why. And there's a left. And Stander staggered. The closest to a knockdown we've had. Time running out. 5 seconds left in the round. Starting, the doctor inspected the cut and says it was not serious. And look at Stander last back at Joe Frazier. He's fighting to hang on now, and it's a left and a right uppercut by Frazier in the corner. Stander with the crowd behind him, but Frazier doing the dynamite, George.
That's right. Looks like Stander's going for broke right now. I know he's in big trouble. He's got to go for broke in this round before.
You can't sell Ron Stander short. With all the odds against him and the fight going against him, look at him fight back. Unlike Terry Daniels, this fella has not been down. We're in round 4. And Frazier is getting hit.
That's right, he's throwing more than one punch now. Stander before was throwing one punch at a time and missing, whereas now he's throwing in clusters of 3 and 4.
He was very close to going down at the end of the 3rd round, but he's coming back now and giving Frazier all the fight Joe wants. The king from Philadelphia, who was in a slaughterhouse before he became a fighter, might very well be in one here with this kid from Council Bluffs, Iowa. The right eye of Stander almost closed from that left. And a cut over the eyebrow, but look at this kid battle. A tremendous battle for the heavyweight title, with all the odds favoring the champion. And look at Stander hanging in and landing punches. Frazier seems to be biding his time, George.
That's right. I think he's trying to get the other boy to punch himself out a little bit.
Of course, every time Joe comes in with that left uppercut or that left hook, Stander shudders, and he's getting hit now. There he landed a right on Joe Frazier and answers with a left. Head to head, eyeball to eyeball. That's the kind of a fight it is. The hands drop for a moment, as you see. But Frazier with that.
I'm sorry, I think he's got a little problem with his vision, Les. I think the current is getting into his eyes.
The cut is over the right eyebrow. 1 minute left. We're in round number 4. Neither man has been down. But it's a sheet of claret down the nose of Stander, and there's those lefts, a series. He turns his back. Frazier looking for the opening now. Stander hanging on for the moment, gets hit with a right, but keeps punching. Frazier with an uppercut. Frazier landing in close. Viciously, you see Stander holding, and that's the first time tonight.
That's right. He's having a little problem with his vision also. Les, he's having problems getting his punches up. He can't even really see where he's throwing them.
Looks like the wild bull of the Pampas there, because I don't think he sees Joe too well. And the claret continues to flow, a sheet of blood on his face. And there's the left by Frazier and the uppercut. But Stander keeps throwing. 14 seconds left, round 4, and Stander has not been down. Frazier cutting him up methodically, in close, just cutting him to ribbons now. Joe Frazier, still heavyweight champion of the world. The doctor stops the fight at the end of round number 4. George, we could see that his face was badly, badly cut.
Badly battered, all the blood flowing his eyes.
Dr. Jack Lewis has not allowed Ron Stander to come out for the 5th round. The winner by a technical knockout after the 4th round, and still heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
In the 4th round, like you were making every effort to set him up, that you felt you had him, you were letting him punch himself out.
Well, I was. Otherwise, I want to move and get clear shots because I work. He take body shots real well. Otherwise, he can return it too.
He's got a lot of guts, and he certainly kept coming all the way.
He's punched. He didn't back up once.
Did he ever hurt you in the 1st round when it looked like?
First rounds, I felt him. Otherwise, he didn't shook me, but I felt him, and I took a step back. I was off balance a little. This young man, they call it Cassius Clay, just like I say, Cassius Clay. Otherwise, I'm tired of a bunch of hassle and just going out of this guy. The fighting game is a championship, and I think we all should keep it among, let's say, fighting. And I'm going down there, and I'm going to build me a gym down there, and I'm planning on stay there. Anybody come up with the $3.5 million, I'll fight anybody in the top 10. But right now, I'm going to rest a little while with the title, me and the title. Thank you.
Good luck to you, Joe Frazier, the heavyweight champion of the world, and he is ready to fight Clay or anyone down there.